What's going on, everybody? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and did Kevin O'Connell leak that the Minnesota Vikings will move off Sam Darnold this offseason? He had a lot of interesting things to say after the Rams game, so stay tuned. Put on those detective hats. We're going to dive into this Kevin O'Connell press conference here, but hey, it's going to be a busy offseason for the Minnesota Vikings. What will happen with Flores? Who will we sign in free agency with $78 million to spend? And also, what's going to happen with Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy? There's a ton to talk about, so don't miss a thing around your Minnesota Vikings. Hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it if you guys joined our Vikings Now family, so don't miss out on anything. Hit that sub button. But this was the interesting quote that O'Connell had. He says, I think that can stay with him moving forward, talking about what he learned this past season. Sam and that journey him and I went on will always be something that's a special place in my heart. And maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I feel like if KOC was, or maybe had some inside information that, hey, yeah, we are going to bring Darnold back, he maybe would have came out and said, hey, this was just step one in the process for me and Sam Darnold. But he pretty much said, he'll always have a special place in my heart. It almost felt like what he was saying, or what he was saying was like what you say to like your girlfriend before you're breaking up with her. Like, hey, I love you. I respect you, everything you've done for me, but you always have a special place in my heart. And then you break up with her. That's really what it felt like. Kevin O'Connell talking to the media after the game. That Sam Darnold's gone, and I think he is going to be gone. But the bookmakers out west, the odds to be the next Vikings quarterback this upcoming season, J.J. McCarthy has moved as the favorite. Honestly, I thought this was going to be around minus 300 for J.J., but they got it at minus 150. Sam Darnold plus 110. If I had to put money on it, I would guarantee you J.J. will be under center for the purple and gold week one. I just have a really strong feeling about this. This really feels like this has been the Vikings' plan all along to get that rookie quarterback on that rookie deal and build a stack roster around him. And honestly, it might have been a good thing that Sam Darnold gave us an answer to the almighty question, who's going to be the starting quarterback next season, with how he's played over the last 2 weeks. But Kevin O'Connell, he also talked about Sam Darnold's game, and this is very interesting. He said, those moments when you're holding that ball and your reaction is to try to make a play, we can't talk out of both sides of our mouth, because he sure as heck made a lot of plays doing that this year. But I think that's part of the growth. And that was definitely an issue against the Rams. Sam Darnold was holding on to the ball way too long. And now there's been some guys out there breaking down the film, saying how many of those 9 sacks were, Sam Darnold's fault. I've seen it thrown as low as 3, but I've also seen it as high as 8. What I've seen, I counted as 6 of those 9 sacks were on Sam Darnold, and it's actually the most lost yards on sacks in playoff history, and actually second most was Bart Starr back in 1967 when he lost 76 sack yards in a game. So this was obviously a bad performance from Darnold, but we knew that. And that's why I also got so frustrated with Kevin O'Connell in this game versus the Rams. Sam Darnold holds on to the ball too long. Your offensive line's getting their ass kicked. That's when you got to get them some easy ones. Get them some layups. Get them the quick pass game. Get them the run game. Just make your quarterback's life a whole lot easier. I just felt like Sam Darnold had no answers this past Monday night. But Kevin O'Connell carried on to say this. He says, remember, this guy's 27 years old, or whatever he is. I thought that was pretty funny. But he said, I think he has a foundation now of both the things you do at the quarterback position to have success and things you have to learn the long way. And, I think everybody was saying, oh, Sam Darnold lost out on so much money the last 2 weeks. But if you look at the season as a whole, think about how much money Sam Darnold has made himself. This guy turned a 1-year, $10 million deal into potentially him getting $20, $25, $30 million per year, like still in the totality of the whole thing. Sam Darnold has made himself a whole lot of money this season, and I know even I'm frustrated with how Kevin O'Connell handled the last two games, but you got to give this guy credit. Big picture here, he made Sam Darnold a lot of money and completely changed the trajectory of his career. But he also had this to say. He says, I just want to say it's very important we all think about Sam's body of work, what he was able to do this year when not too many people thought he would be able to lead a team to 14 wins. It did not work out in the end, and I think Sam would be the first one to tell you, could he have played better tonight? I'm sure he would tell you he could have. Could I have coached better? I'm positive I could have. And a little bold prediction about next season, because this year it was the Kevin O'Connell air raid attack. Like, he's throwing the ball 35, 40 times a game. I have a strong feeling the Vikings offense will look completely different next season, where I think they will be a run-first offense. I think this is going to be a big look-in-the-mirror offseason for Kevin O'Connell, because when he gets in these big-time games, in December, in January, which also Kevin O'Connell has a 1-5 record in January, and when it's January football, you got to lean on that run game. So bold prediction here, I think the Vikings will look more of like a San Francisco 49ers offense, which ran through that running back. So I would not be shocked if we beef up the offensive line in free agency and maybe draft a guy like Ashton Genty in the first round. That would be my dream scenario for this offseason. But I'll ask you guys this. The Vikings in the last 3 seasons ranked 29th in yards per game under Kevin O'Connell in terms of rushing the football. Will the Vikings be able to run the ball next season? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Now we'll get the more on Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy here in a second. But first, I got to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Game Time. And take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. Now, Timberwolves, they got a lot of fun games coming up. You got the Golden State Warriors coming Wednesday night, and also on Saturday night, the Cavs are traveling to Minnesota. So if you guys want to see, potentially Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, depending on when you're seeing this video, you got a chance to go see some NBA stars live in action, taking on Anthony Edwards and the crew. And also Game Time, they have a sweet feature. It's their seat views feature, where it gets you a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you even buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Now, I want to close today's show out just going over my top 5 Sam Darnold memories from the season, because I know a lot of us were disappointed in how the season ended, but still in the bigger picture, it was an awesome year. I mean, listen, I was being reactionary after the game. I was saying, man, I would have rather had this team go 5-12, 3-14. I completely take that back. It was a very fun season. So I got my top 5 memories here. And my first memory when I was going back and I was thinking about this, like even dating back to September when the Vikings were taking on the Niners, it had to have been that 97-yard touchdown bomb he had to Jefferson. We were backed up on the 3-yard line. Kevin O'Connell staying aggressive, went play action, completely uncorked one to Justin Jefferson. I remember in that moment, I was thinking to myself, I was like, do we have a guy? Is Sam Darnold about to have a great season? And he did. He had a great season for 16 games. And then the last 2 games, we obviously know how those went. But my favorite memory from the year was early on in the season, that 97-yard touchdown. And number 2 for me, I'm going to go with 5-touchdown game versus the Atlanta Falcons. Now, setting the scene, it was Kirk Cousins returning to the U.S. Bank Stadium. All the attention was on him. And Sam Darnold, the biggest storyline after that game was how well he played. He threw for 5 touchdowns in that game. And also keep in mind, it was a 21-21 game heading into the fourth quarter. And what did Sam Darnold do in that fourth? He threw for 2 touchdowns. Vikings ended up winning 42-21. But that was honestly one of my favorite memories from the season. 5 touchdowns against the Falcons. He spoiled Kirk Cousins' return to U.S. Bank Stadium. Truly, truly just a very memorable time I'll have as a Vikings fan. But number 3 for me, I'm going to go the Bears overtime drive. Now, this was the game where Justin Jefferson, only 2 receptions, 27 yards. He was just, getting most of the attention. He was getting the double, triple team looks, but still in that overtime, Sam Darnold led the Vikings right down the field. He found TJ Hawkinson on a couple of big plays, and actually one of Jefferson's catches in that game came in that overtime drive, which was an absolute seed from Sam Darnold. But I remember with all the, bad memories as a Vikings fan with the Bears, or playing in Chicago against the Bears, the fact that he was able to kind of overcome some of that bad juju. And I remember watching that game, when the Bears recovered that onside kick and then they tied the game up heading into the overtime. They got the ball. I was like, this is going to be one of the biggest disasters in Vikings franchise history. If we end up losing this, Sam Darnold shut that door very, very quick. But another game-winning drive. How about the Seahawks game? 4 minutes left, 24-20 in Seattle. And this guy drove right down the field. And honestly, if it's not the 97-yard touchdown to Jefferson, it's probably the 40-yard touchdown game winner that he threw to Jefferson. Stepped up in the pocket. It was like a jump throw down the left sideline. He got popped in the chest, and Jefferson made an incredible play on the football. But that was another moment where I was like, man, maybe the Sam Darnold guy is clutch. Maybe the Sam Darnold guy is going to be the person that gets us across that finish line and maybe make an NFC championship game, but obviously did not end up happening. And then how about his career high game, week 17 week 17 versus the Green Bay Packers, where he threw for 377 yards. Packers came into that game red hot. They were expecting to win it. They were trying to fight the Vikings for that 5 seed in the wild card race. Sam Darnold shut that door very, very fast, and he tore up the Packers. And that's obviously, I don't know if I'm going to say it's a famous moment or an infamous moment from this season, when Sam Darnold in the locker room, they're pouring water all over him. Like, that was truly the peak of the season. That was just all downhill since then. But those are my 5 favorite memories. And let's close out today's show with this. Show Sam Darnold some love. Type his jersey number. Type those 14s down below, because even though I think it's over for him, wearing the purple and gold still gave us some incredible memories. So type his jersey number. Give me those 14s down below. And also, I'm on Twitter. @PatSieps is the Twitter handle. Give me a follow over there if you guys haven't already. And we'll see you guys next time. As always, Skol Vikes.